Welcome to the Band History Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In a dark, dusty corner of the ancient library of Ashurbanipal, nestled in the heart of Nineveh, an unassuming clay tablet lay unnoticed for millennia. Bearing largely unreadable cuneiform inscriptions, it was dismissed as a mundane relic by archaeologists. But when modern computational linguistics finally deciphered the tablet's cryptic script, it revealed a startling assertion, one that would challenge our understanding of human history. This tablet, cast from the earth and baked under the Mesopotamian sun thousands of years ago, bore a hint of something extraordinary. It suggested the existence of a primordial language, a mother tongue, spoken by all of humanity before the splintering into the myriad tongues we know today. A universal language, lost in the mists of time. This claim raises a tantalizing question. Did humanity once speak a single, universal language? It's a question that has haunted linguists, archaeologists, and historians alike, and one that is deeply embedded in our collective folklore, from the biblical story of the Tower of Babel to the mythical Adamic language of Eden. The idea is not without academic support. For instance, linguists have long explored the concept of linguistic monogenesis, the theory that all human languages have evolved from a single ancestral language. This proto-world or proto-human language, as it's often called, is thought to have been spoken by our earliest ancestors, a linguistic equivalent of the mitochondrial Eve. However, the evidence is circumstantial at best. Researchers have identified certain structures and sound patterns that seem to recur across disparate language families, hinting at a common origin. However, the further back in time we look, the more difficult it becomes to establish clear linguistic links. Many linguists argue that any resemblances between different language families could simply be the result of convergent evolution, rather than evidence of a shared lineage. Moreover, the sheer diversity of human languages, over 7,000 spoken today, suggests a long history of linguistic divergence and evolution. The idea that these could all have sprung from a single root language seems improbable at best. But the tablet from Ashurbanipal's library suggests otherwise. It doesn't just hint at the existence of a primordial language, it claims to contain remnants of it. A handful of words, phrases, and symbols that, it asserts, are echoes of humanity's first spoken tongue. This is the mystery that we are confronted with. A puzzle that spans the breadth of human history and the depth of human culture. A question that tugs at the very fabric of our understanding of who we are and where we come from. Did humanity once speak a single, universal language? The search for answers takes us on a journey through time and across continents, into the heart of humanity's oldest stories and deepest mysteries. Let us journey back in time, way back, to the dawn of civilization. Our first stop is ancient Sumer, a civilization that flourished in the fertile crescent of Mesopotamia, now modern-day Iraq, around 5,000 years ago. Sumer is remembered as one of the cradles of civilization, where human society first began to take on a form we would recognize today. Cities, writing, organized religion, law, and, perhaps most importantly, a complex system of communication, the cuneiform script. This script, etched into clay tablets, is among the earliest known forms of writing. But more than a mere tool of communication, it was a symbolic system that represented the Sumerians' understanding of the world, their place in it, and their relationship with the divine. This ancient system of symbols and signs, the language of gods and men alike, could perhaps offer some clues to our primordial tongue. From Sumer, our journey takes us to the fertile valleys of the Indus River, home to the Indus Valley Civilization around 4,000 years ago. This civilization, contemporary to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, remains shrouded in mystery. Its script, found on countless seals and tablets, has defied all attempts at decipherment. Could it hold secrets of a universal language spoken at the dawn of civilization? We then travel to ancient Egypt, a civilization that left behind a wealth of written records in the form of hieroglyphs. These intricate pictorial symbols, used for religious and ceremonial purposes, conveyed not just literal meanings, but also metaphysical concepts. Could these hieroglyphs, infused with such deep symbolism, be echoes of a universal language that once resonated across the globe? Our quest also takes us to the Americas, where ancient civilizations such as the Maya, Aztec, and Inca developed complex writing systems independent of those in the Old World. Their glyphs and pictograms, deeply woven with their cultural fabric and cosmological beliefs, raise intriguing parallels with the scripts of ancient Sumer, Egypt, and the Indus Valley. Were these civilizations, separated by vast oceans and centuries, tapping into the same universal language? These ancient civilizations, with their diverse cultures and geographical locations, all developed complex systems of symbols and signs, languages that transcended mere communication to encapsulate their understanding of the world, the divine, and their place in the cosmos. Could these ancient scripts, embedded with profound symbolism, hold the key to a universal language? A language that echoed the deepest mysteries of existence, connecting humanity across time and space? This question propels us further into the labyrinth of our past, pulling us deeper into the mystery of our origins and our primal need for communication. Did humanity once speak a single, universal language? The quest for answers continues. We encounter the first key figure in our exploration of a universal language in the person of Sir William Jones. In 1786, Jones, a British philologist and jurist working in India, made a startling observation. He noticed remarkable similarities between Sanskrit, the ancient language of the Indian subcontinent, and Latin and Greek. This discovery led Jones to propose that all three languages must have descended from a single, now lost, ancestral language, what we now refer to as Proto-Indo-European. Jones's hypothesis sparked a revolution in linguistic studies, leading to the establishment of comparative philology and the search for this elusive proto-language. This search has since branched out, with linguists identifying other proto-languages like Proto-Afro-Asiatic and Proto-Sino-Tibetan, suggesting that multiple universal languages may have existed in different regions of the world. Our journey also leads us to a fascinating text, the Sefer Yetzirah. This ancient Jewish esoteric text, whose origins are shrouded in mystery, explores the creation of the universe through letters and numbers. It proposes that God created the world using the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, each letter representing a fundamental force or aspect of the universe. This perspective, that language can shape reality, echoes the belief in a universal language, one that not only describes the world, but also creates and influences it. Next, we delve into the intriguing world of archaeological findings, such as the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. This artifact, unearthed in Egypt in 1799, bore inscriptions in three scripts: Greek, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and Demotic. This stone provided the key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs, opening a window into the beliefs and philosophy of ancient Egyptians. It underlines the power of language as a bridge between cultures and epochs, echoing the notion of a universal language that transcends barriers of time and geography. Finally, we encounter whistleblowers who challenge the established narrative. Scholars like Noam Chomsky, known for his theory of universal grammar, argue that all human languages share a common structure, hardwired into our brains. This innate structure, Chomsky suggests, points to a common language from which all others have evolved, a universal language encoded into our very DNA. These figures, texts, and discoveries, each in their way, point towards the existence of a universal language, a language that might have once echoed across the globe, connecting humanity in a shared understanding of reality. They beckon us further into the mystery, inviting us to continue our exploration, to dig deeper into our past in search of this elusive universal tongue. The quest for answers thus continues, leading us ever closer to the heart of the enigma. At the heart of this enigma is the core theory, the belief in a primordial, universal language from which all others have evolved. This theory suggests that at some point in human history there existed a single, unified mode of communication, a lingua franca that transcended ethnic, cultural, and geographical barriers. This grand theory is both intriguing and disruptive, defying mainstream historical perspectives and scientific logic. It challenges the widely accepted model of linguistic evolution, which posits that languages naturally diversify over time and space, branching out from a common root into distinct, unique tongues. Yet the concept of a universal language is not without its anomalies. If such a single, unified language existed, where is the evidence? Why haven't linguists and archaeologists uncovered clear, incontrovertible proof in the form of written records or consistent linguistic structures across various languages? These anomalies feed the mystery, adding layers of intrigue to an already mystifying topic. However, these questions have not deterred proponents of the theory from exploring its potential implications. Some propose that this universal language was not a spoken or written language, as we understand it today, but a language of thought or consciousness. This perspective posits that early humans shared a common cognitive framework, a mental language, which underpinned their communication and understanding of the world. Such a claim defies not only mainstream history and linguistic science, but also our modern understanding of cognition and consciousness. Yet it resonates with various esoteric, philosophical, and spiritual traditions that emphasize the power of thought and intention in shaping reality, a notion reminiscent of the Sefer Yetzirah and its description of the Hebrew alphabet as a creative force. Others take this idea even further, suggesting that the universal language was a kind of psychic or telepathic communication. This claim, while far from the realms of conventional science, finds echoes in folklore and mythology, where stories of mind-to-mind communication are common, and in the field of parapsychology, which studies phenomena like telepathy and clairvoyance. These theories, radical, disruptive, and bordering on the fantastical, challenge our understanding of language, history, and human nature. They invite us to set aside our preconceived notions and dive deeper into the mystery of human communication. In the quest for a universal language, we are not merely seeking a linguistic artifact from our past. We are also exploring the very essence of what it means to be human, to communicate, and to connect with each other and the world around us. As we delve deeper into this mystery, we find ourselves drawn into a labyrinth of questions, each leading us further into the heart of the enigma. When we sift through the tangible physical evidence, we find threads that could potentially link to a universal language. The megalithic structures scattered across the planet, for example, reveal intriguing similarities. From Stonehenge in England to the Great Pyramids of Egypt, from the Moai statues of Easter Island to the ancient city of Machu Picchu high up in the Andes, these colossal structures, built with precision and intricacy, suggest a shared knowledge or system of understanding among their creators. This echoes in the concept of sacred geometry, the belief that certain geometric shapes and proportions have a deep spiritual significance. Found in the design and construction of many of these ancient monuments, sacred geometry is seen by some as a universal architectural language, possibly hinting at a common cognitive framework. Carbon dating of these structures provides a timeline, but it fails to explain the shared architectural sophistication seen across diverse cultures and geographical locations. Such synchronicity in design and construction techniques, despite the vast distances and lack of known contact, fuels the theory of a shared language or knowledge system. In the field of genetics, DNA studies offer another thread to follow. Geneticists have found that all modern humans share a common ancestor, the so-called mitochondrial Eve, who lived in Africa between 150,000 to 200,000 years ago. If we all descend from a single lineage, is it possible that we once shared a common language? However, the evidence from genetics also presents a conundrum. While it confirms our shared ancestry, it also reveals a deep diversity within human populations, suggesting a long history of separation and independent development. This divergence is reflected in the myriad languages and cultures we see today, posing a significant challenge to the idea of a single, universal language. Modern science, despite its monumental advances, struggles to answer these questions definitively. Our current understanding of linguistics, archaeology, and genetics can provide pieces of the puzzle, but they do not fully explain how or why these anomalies exist. Our quest for a universal language, therefore, remains a complex enigma, a mystery steeped in the depths of our shared history and consciousness. While we may never find definitive proof of such a language, the search itself reveals fascinating insights into our past and provokes profound questions about our nature and our ability to communicate. It invites us to look beyond the boundaries of conventional thought and to consider the incredible possibilities of our shared human story. Even as the concept of a primordial universal language continues to intrigue researchers and laypeople alike, it's met with resistance and even derision in mainstream academia, media, and institutions. The reasons for this are manifold and often interlinked, revealing an underlying tension between established knowledge and unorthodox theories. Established linguistic theory argues that language is a product of evolution, developing gradually as human societies evolved and diversified. In this view, a single universal tongue is seen as unlikely, given the broad range of languages and dialects that exist across the globe. The idea of a universal language, so the argument goes, is a romantic notion, not rooted in empirical evidence, but in a desire for unity and shared understanding. One of the most vocal critics of the universal language theory is Noam Chomsky, a renowned linguist and philosopher, who has argued that while all human languages share a common underlying structure, or universal grammar, this doesn't necessarily imply they all evolved from a single ancient language. For Chomsky and many of his peers, the diversity of human language is a testament to our species' adaptability and creativity, not evidence of a lost universal tongue. Media outlets and popular culture, for their part, often depict the notion of a universal language as the stuff of science fiction or fantasy, further marginalizing the idea. Movies and books typically portray universal language as a fantastical artifact or an advanced alien technology, reinforcing the perception that it's a topic better suited for speculative fiction than serious academic inquiry. Institutions, particularly those involved in education and policymaking, are also implicated in the marginalization of the universal language theory. Educational curriculums across the world are largely shaped by the prevailing view of language evolution, teaching students that language is developed independently in different human communities. The idea of a universal language, if it is mentioned at all, is often dismissed as a myth or a utopian fantasy. The suppression of the universal language theory can be seen as a reflection of the broader conflict between orthodoxy and heterodoxy in the pursuit of knowledge. Unconventional theories often face an uphill battle for recognition and acceptance, especially when they challenge entrenched beliefs and disrupt established paradigms. In the case of the universal language theory, the pushback from academia, media, and institutions is fueled by a combination of skepticism, adherence to established theories, and perhaps an unconscious resistance to ideas that challenge our understanding of human history. Yet despite these barriers, the quest for a shared primal language, the echoes of which may still reverberate through our modern tongues, endures. This insatiable curiosity, this desire to unravel our shared past, underscores our collective yearning to understand the roots of human communication and connection. The quest for a universal language extends beyond the confines of linguistics and anthropology into the realms of philosophy, spirituality, and metaphysics. The implications of a shared primal language ripple out, touching the very essence of what it means to be human, our origin, and perhaps even our divine purpose. If humanity once spoke a single language, it would imply a remarkable unity at the dawn of our species, a unity that was subsequently fractured. This narrative parallels stories found in many spiritual traditions, such as the biblical tale of the Tower of Babel. In this story, humanity, once united by a single language, attempts to build a tower reaching heaven. As punishment for their hubris, God confounds their speech, causing them to speak different languages and scatter across the earth. Even if one doesn't interpret this story literally, it reflects a deep-seated human intuition about a lost unity and a longing for a return to it. The idea of a universal language also resonates with the concept of collective consciousness, a term coined by French sociologist Émile Durkheim to describe the shared beliefs and moral attitudes which operate as a unifying force within society. Could it be that our shared primal language is a testament to a shared primal consciousness? That our collective origins were more interwoven and interconnected than we currently comprehend? This universal language theory also has implications for our understanding of divine purpose or cosmic design. The existence of a shared primal language suggests a divine blueprint of communication, a cosmic grammar encoded in the DNA of humanity. If such a language existed, it might point to a deeper metaphysical truth about the structure of reality itself. It suggests a universe designed for communication, connection, and comprehension, a universe where a multitude of voices can harmonize into a single, resonant note. Yet, as compelling as these spiritual and metaphysical dimensions may be, they also complicate the quest for a universal language. They invite us to consider questions that exist beyond the purview of empirical research and challenge us to navigate the murky waters of belief, intuition, and subjective experience. They remind us that the search for a universal language is not just a scientific endeavor, but also a deeply human one, bound up with our most profound questions about who we are, where we come from, and why we are here. This concept of a single primordial language has not only found its place in religion and metaphysics, but has also been inscribed into modern culture and media. The idea's allure is undeniably potent, weaving its way into the fabric of documentaries, books, and the burgeoning world of digital media. In the realm of documentaries, the idea has often been explored as part of broader explorations of the origins of language, human evolution, and cultural development. These documentaries often present the theory as one of many possible explanations for the emergence and diversity of human languages. They don't shirk from discussing the mystical and spiritual dimensions of the theory, lending it an air of mystery and intrigue that captivates audiences. Books, both fiction and non-fiction, have also grappled with this concept. In fiction, authors have often used the idea of a universal language as a narrative device to explore themes of unity and division, cooperation, and conflict. Meanwhile, non-fiction books have delved into the deep historical, linguistic, and anthropological roots of the theory, offering readers a comprehensive overview of its origins and implications. The idea has also permeated the digital landscape. On platforms like TikTok and YouTube, creators have used the theory as a springboard for discussions about language, history, and spirituality. These bite-sized videos often present the theory in a simplified form, making it accessible to a wide audience. The discussions that these videos spark often transcend the platforms themselves, spilling over into comment sections and discussion forums where users debate, dissect, and delve into the theory further. Online communities dedicated to seeking truth and uncovering hidden knowledge have also embraced this theory. These communities, found on platforms like Reddit and Quora, are fertile grounds for discussions about the theory. Here, individuals from diverse backgrounds and perspectives come together to share their interpretations, insights, and discoveries about the theory. The interactions in these communities often illuminate the theory in unexpected ways, revealing its multifaceted nature and the myriad ways in which it resonates with individuals. The portrayal of the universal language theory in media and modern culture underlines its enduring allure and significance. It has become a touchstone for discussions about language, history, spirituality, and the human condition. Its ubiquity in media and culture is a testament to our enduring fascination with the idea and our relentless quest to unravel the mysteries of human communication and connection. The concept of a universal language leads us down rabbit holes of fascinating fringe theories and esoteric ideas. These extensions of the theory often blend elements of the paranormal, the mystical, and the scientific, weaving them into narratives that are as captivating as they are controversial. One such narrative intertwines the concept of a universal language with the theory of ancient aliens. Proponents of this theory propose that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past, and it was they who introduced a universal language to early humans. This language, they argue, was a sophisticated system of communication far more advanced than anything humans could have developed on their own. This theory often gets linked with the idea of lost technologies. Adherents believe that these ancient aliens also imparted advanced technological knowledge to early humans. This knowledge, they suggest, was encoded in the universal language, which served as a kind of blueprint for these lost technologies. The pyramids of Egypt, the Nazca lines of Peru, and other ancient megastructures are often cited as evidence of this alien-engineered technology. Another fringe extension of the universal language theory delves into the realm of interdimensional beings. Some argue that the universal language was not a physical language, but a psychic one, a form of telepathic communication. The beings that communicated in this language, they suggest, were not extraterrestrials, but interdimensional entities, beings that exist outside our conventional understanding of time and space. A more esoteric offshoot of the theory involves the concept of hybrid bloodlines. According to this idea, the universal language was a genetic code, a DNA blueprint that was passed down through certain bloodlines. These hybrid bloodlines, proponents argue, are the descendants of unions between humans and divine or extraterrestrial beings. The universal language, in this interpretation, is not spoken or written, but is instead a genetic memory, a kind of ancestral knowledge encoded in our DNA. These fringe theories and esoteric offshoots of the universal language concept may seem far-fetched to some, yet they resonate with others who seek to reconcile the mysteries of our past with the complexities of our present. The enduring appeal of these ideas testifies to our collective fascination with the unknown and our unending quest for understanding. Whether these theories hold any truth or not is yet to be conclusively proven. However, one thing is certain: the search for a universal language, a means of transcending barriers of time, space, and understanding, continues to captivate the human imagination. The grand narrative we've been journeying through, the search for a universal language, is not just a quest for a lost linguistic artifact. It is, above all, a reflection of the enduring human desire for unity, understanding, and connection, a testament to our timeless longing to bridge the gulfs that divide us, whether they be of time, space, or comprehension. In pondering the ramifications of a single universal language, we find ourselves at the crossroads of history, linguistics, anthropology, and even the mystical. It's a topic that sweeps us into the realm of the unknown and the unexplained, leading us to confront questions about our origins, our history, and our very essence as a species. But what if it's all true? What if there was once a singular language, a lingua franca of the human race, a language so powerful it could unlock the secrets of the universe itself? A language that wasn't just spoken or written, but one that was imprinted in our very genes, a genetic memory passed down through generations. What if this language was more than just a means of communication? What if it was a conduit for advanced knowledge of technologies far beyond our current understanding? Technologies that could explain the construction of the pyramids, the Nazca lines, and other ancient megastructures? And what if this language was not just a product of human evolution, but a gift from a higher intelligence? From beings not of this world, but from the stars, or perhaps even other dimensions? Beings who guided our ancestors, imparted knowledge, and left their mark on our genetic code. The answers to these questions remain locked within the mysterious vaults of history, tantalizingly out of reach. Yet the very act of asking them opens up new avenues of thought, new possibilities, and new interpretations of our shared human story. The idea of a universal language stirs up a sense of wonder, a spark of the forbidden, a whisper of the hidden. It invites us to look deeper, to question more, to push the boundaries of what we think we know. And perhaps, in this relentless quest for understanding, we might stumble upon fragments of the truth, shards of the past that echo with the resonance of a forgotten universal language. But as we stand on the edge of this grand mystery, one can't help but wonder, what else are they hiding? What other secrets lurk in the shadows of our history, waiting to be unearthed? In the silence that follows these questions, the echo of a single universal language seems almost audible, a spectral whisper from the past, a ghostly refrain that continues to haunt our collective memory. Is it merely an illusion? Or is it a tantalizing hint of a truth yet to be discovered? Only time will tell. Thanks for listening. This has been the Band History Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.